besides being the master of ceremony of our event today, so Graciel is also one of the speakers. So I will welcome Graciel Adeline Gunawan from Yosudarso Junior High School with the title One Voice, One Word. So the time is yours, Graciel.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, before we raise our voices, we share a world, not divided by maps, not confined by language, not limited by history. We are connected, whether we admit it or not. When you speak, have you ever wondered where your words travel? Do they stop at your intention or do they move outward, but touching lives you may never see? We live in an age where a whisper can cross continents, a sentence can spark movements or deepen division. A single message can unite strangers. A careless phrase can win communities. And sometimes a simple act of speaking up can change the direction of someone's life. And yet, too often, we speak as if impact were optional. In fact, it isn't. Words are never neutral. They carry weight. They travel farther than we expect. They build climates of trust or storms of misunderstanding. So, what does it mean to speak beyond borders? It does not mean erasing identity, it means enlarging it. It means recognizing that culture shapes us, but humanity unites us. It means listening not only for differences, but for the shared hope hidden beneath them. Because every culture carries stories, stories of struggle, stories of resilience, stories of people trying, just like us, to live meaningful lives. In fact, I understood this in a quiet, ordinary moment. Late one evening, I sat watching rain gather on glass. The world outside blurred into soft lights. No expectation, no performance, just the quiet rhythm of rain and the quiet rhythm of thought. And in that stillness, a thought arrived to me. Somewhere in another country, someone else was breathing out the same tired breath. Different language, different tradition, different worries about tomorrow, but the same invisible pressure to be enough. In that moment, distance felt smaller because exhaustion has no password. Hope needs no translation. A dream in Jakarta, a dream in Nairobi, a dream in Sao Paulo, all begin with the same human longing to matter. And our struggles echo, so must our responsibility. The air we share moves freely. The ocean we warm touch every single shore. A decision in one place can reshape lives somewhere else. Our economic intertwine, our crisis overlap, our future merge. Interconnection is not an idea, it is reality. And yet, sometimes we still behave as if our choice exists in isolation, as if our voices only affect our own circles, as if silence has no consequence. But silence can protect injustice. Silence can allow this division to grow, which is why speaking beyond borders is not simply about communication. It's about responsibility. To speak as citizen of one world is to speak with awareness. It's to ask who benefits from my silence, who is affected by my indifference, whose story have I never tried to understand. It is choosing dialogue over dominance, understanding over assumption, because assumption divide, but curiosity connects and empathy expand. To speak beyond borders is not to speak louder, it's to speak larger. Larger in spirit, larger in compassion, larger in accountability, larger in imagination. Imagine conversation where curiosity replaces fear, where questions replace judgment, where disagreement does not end dialogue but deepens it. Imagine if our first instinct was not to defend our position, but to understand other perspective. How different would our world sound? Perhaps the most powerful change does not begin with policies or institution. Perhaps it begins with the courage to speak differently. So tonight, I would like to ask all of you joining with me to change me first with something stronger, something braver. All of us, we rise together. Our environment, our dignity, our shared tomorrow. Not separate destinies, but shared direction. Perhaps the courage we need today is not certainty, but humility. Not victory, but understanding. Not the need to be right, but the willingness to be responsible. Because before we argue, before we defend, before we divide, we share the same fragile planet, the same sky, the same ocean, the same uncertain future. And at the end, no border on a map can separate our collective fate. So, pause before your next word, before your next judgment, before your next reaction. Pause and remember that the world listens. Let your words be bridges. Let your tone carry respect. Let your voice remember that it does not stand alone. Because one voice can influence many, but one world holds us all. So speak with awareness, speak with courage, speak with compassion, speak as citizens, not only of nations, but of humanity. My name is Grazel Ading Gunawan from SMP Sudarso 1 in Batam, and thank you very much.
Great, Graciel. Okay, so for the next, I will give it back the mic to you, Graciel, as the MC.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, let's us continue with our next speaker. Please welcome Luis Ferdinand from Santo Yosef Bangkal Pinang. He will deliver a speech titled Agora Speakers. Luis, the floor is yours.
I wanted to speak about the speech agora about the history, management, social, economic, geographic, language, culture, and biology. Speak as a world citizen and present the power of speech to foster connection, responsibility, and global citizenship in Indonesia. Global initiative aligned with national effort to combat positive in global transformation, sustainability, and economic growth. Key themes and definition. Team Your Leadership in the Era of Global Transformation, our primary team for the National Speech Competition 2020, target and profession age 15 to 25. Team Leadership and Sustainable and Economic World featured in the second public speaking championship 2020, which is by the government, the one of initial for growth, the storytelling for Joseph on cultural for preservation and storytelling for younger participants. Team My Family, My Home, an online competition focusing on personal and social value and respective voices of the corporate WFD movement aims to elevate voices from all of backgrounds interdisciplinary for youth sociology, geography, science, and business. Sociology and culture to the 2026 discuss impressive and effective voices and social transformation for sustainable and development, economic and management. Discussions extend on initiative 5 to 6% economic growth, research and internal for the 1 trillion dollar sovereign will found Tantala in global geoeconomics, geographic and environment. A major focus is on the 2026 climate crisis with 86% of Indonesians and expected more extreme weather in 2026 and the discussions on smart engineering and sustainable and technological initiative hosting the World Engineering Day 2026 March 3 to 5 focus on AI and digitalization and sustainable infrastructure. In 2026 and April, March 5th and 2026 World Beach Day of Global March 15 and to 18, 26 picked up with Sakuna National Speed Competition and 8th February 26, 2026. Deadline for Global Beach Competition 2026. April 26, 2026. Final honor of second public speaking championship 2026 International Library of Edition. Key competition second public speaking championship 2026. The only national competition curated by professionals focused on critical thinking, public speaking, and confidence. Public speech competition 2022 academic speaking competition for elementary school, middle school, and high school. Community popular 2022 pedagogical university. Feature of learning of voices, new writing and announcing persuasive presentation, and science of voices and languages. Thank you for sharing the information. And thank you.
Thank you, Luis, for the inspiring speech. Our next speaker is Viola Valen Setiawan from SMK Tunas Karya Pangkal Pinang. Her speech is titled The Importance of Protecting Nature. Viola, please take it away.
Okay, sorry. I forgot. Okay, thank you, Gracia. Nature is where we live. Nature provides us with air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and various resources that support human life. Without that, human life will be very difficult. However, the reality today is that much of the damage to nature is caused by humans themselves. Example is illegal logging, pollution of rivers by garbage and waste, and excessive use of plastic. If this consumed, the impact will be enormous for our lives. Damage to nature can cause various disasters such as floods, landslides, drought, and even climate change. Floods often occur because forests are cut down and trash is carelessly thrown into rivers. Landslides occur because there are no longer tree roots to hold the soil in place. All of this show that protecting nature is not only the responsibility of the government, but the responsibility of all of us. Protecting nature can actually start with small things in our daily life. For example, is disposing of waste properly, reducing the use of single-use plastic, planting trees, conserving waters and electricity, and do tree recycles. We can also help protect the environment. We can keep our classroom clean, take care of the plants at school, and not damage the facilities. By doing these small things together, we are helping to protect the nature. In addition, we also need to raise public awareness about the importance of protecting the environment. We can encourage our friends, family, acquaintances, and those around us to care about more about nature. If more people become aware, our environment will become cleaner and healthier. Nature is a gift that we must protect, not destroy. Without nature, we can do nothing. Therefore, it is our duty to protect nature as best as we can. Let's start with ourselves, starting now and starting with small things by protecting nature because nature is our home. Then, by protecting nature, we also protect our future. That's all for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Viola. Your speech reminds us how important it is to take care of our planet. Next, please welcome Velia Ferliana from SMK Tunas Karya Pangkal Pinang. Her speech is titled Social Media, Inspiration or Insecurity. Velia, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Garcia, for the time. So, before I start my speech, I want to ask you guys about one question. Have you guys opened your social media just for like 10 until 15 minutes, and when you try to close it, you just feel like your life is not good enough? Last night, I opened my social media like I used to. I scroll and I found someone with a perfect life. And when I try to compare it to myself, to my life, I just feel like my life is nothing to compare to them. I know at this day, social media is being everything for most of the people. And also, they can be the version of best what they want to be on social media. Not just that, at this generation also, we usually, when we wake up, firstly, we will open our phone and take our notification. And when we eat, we also scroll our social media. And also, before we sleep, we prefer to open our phone and play. I think that's kind of things being normal at this day. But the main problem or the main question I want to speak today is, does social media can make us feel insecure, or does social media can be our inspiration? I know on social media we can see a lot of beautiful faces, perfect bodies, scrolling through dreams that feel miles away from us. But what if it actually we compare someone that already on their last chapter, that they are serious to taking their dreams, with us that only is at the first chapter of our life, being lazy to study and not serious about anything. We don't know what they took until they become someone like that. We don't see the struggles behind their success. However, social media is not full negative for us. We can learn a lot of things outside the books. It can also be a powerful source of inspiration. We can learn a new skill from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and other apps. We also can discover creative ideas from designers around the world. We can find motivation from people who share their journeys. We also can learn from their failures. So, in my opinion, the main problem is not just social media, but how do we guys use it? And when you try to compare yourself and doing nothing with someone that are really serious to chase their dream and being success, I think you just waste your time. For the conclusion, social media can be the main problem of our insecurity, but also can be the main inspiration for us for to be a better person. So the choice is on our hand. And next time, what if when you try to open your phone, please ask yourself first, am I looking for insecurity, or am I looking for inspiration? And I think that's all that I can say. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Velia, for sharing such a thoughtful perspective. Our next speaker is Nita Alena Satio from SMPU Sudarso 1 Batam. Her speech is titled To Divining What Intelligence and Education Is. Nita, whenever you are ready, you may begin.
Thank you, Glacial. So, in a moment, I'm going to redefine what intelligence truly is. For too long, we have defined a smart student by a single set of choices: how well they do in an exam or how well they do in a group project. Well, academic skills are important. Yes, they are one part of what intelligence truly is. But academic skills are not all about intelligence. Intelligence isn't just about scoring high in an exam. It is found in the students who can adapt to situations, the ability to move out of the comfort zone. We must recognize that being a skilled athlete, a creative writer, an artist requires a high level of cognitive ability and dedication. The goal of an education isn't what you can repeat, but what you can create. If we only teach students to be identical test takers, we are, we are essentially telling them and teaching them to be the same when every student have different capabilities. Instead, it should be about helping students find their unique strengths. Whether someone is mastering a public speaking or writing a poem, they are developing critical thinking and leadership skills. Education should empower us to protect our environment and speak persuasively about the world we want to live in. Now, in conclusion, we should stop asking, "How smart are you?" and start asking, "How are you smart?" When we define intelligence to include creativity, technical skill, and emotional depth, we create a school environment where every student has the chance to lead and succeed. Think about it. Why does a perfect score on a quiz count as intelligence, but being able to adapt and strategize isn't? Both require a brain and intelligence that can solve problems under pressure. When we stay stuck in the old definition of smart, we miss out on so much things. We ignore a person that can explain a difficult concept about a topic, or even a writer that writes beautiful stories that makes the reader cry. We even ignore the courage it takes to stand up and speak when everyone else is silent. That isn't just a good score. That is real world intelligence. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Nita. Your speech inspired me to rethink what learning truly means. Now, please welcome Sheila. Sorry, please welcome Shara Arnelita from SMA Santo Yosef Pangkal Pinang. Her speech is titled "Small Steps, Big Change." Shara, please go ahead.
Thank you, Graciel. So today I want to talk about something simple yet very powerful. It's about a small step. Many of us grow up believing that success must come from big achievement. We admire people who create top innovation, build big company, or change the world in dramatic ways. Because of that, we sometimes think that if we cannot do something big, then what we does not matter. But the truth is, big things almost always begin with small steps. Think it about for a moment. A giant tree begins as a tiny seed. A long journey begins with simple with a single step. Even the most successful people in the world once start as beginners who knew very little. However, many people are afraid to take that first small step. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel already confident and certain that they will succeed. But the reality is that perfect moment rarely comes. If we keep waiting for everything to be perfect, we may spend our whole life waiting. The difference between people who achieve their dream and those who do not is often very simple. It's not always talent. It's not always luck. Sometimes the difference is just the courage to start. Starting can feel scary.
When we try something new, we risk making mistakes. We risk failing. We risk being judged by others. But mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are signs that we are learning. Every science would discover something great, made many failed experiments. Every successful entrepreneur faced rejection many times. Every skilled artist once created work that was far from perfect. Failure is not the opposite of success. In many cases, failure is part of the journey to success. Imagine if a child gave up after failing the first time they tried to walk. None of us would either none of us will ever learn how to walk. But children keep trying. They fall, they stand up again, and eventually they succeed. Somehow, as we grow older, we become more afraid of failing. But what if we change our mindset? What if instead of asking, what if I fall? We ask, what if I learn something terrible? What if instead of thinking this is too difficult, we thought this is an opportunity to grow? Growth doesn't happen in our comfort zone. It happens when we challenge ourselves even in a small way. Maybe your small step today is studying a little harder. Maybe it's helping someone you need support. Maybe it is sharing your ideas even when you feel nervous. This action may seem small, but over time they create something powerful. Small effort done consistently can transform our life. A few minutes of reading every day can turn someone into a fierce person. A little practice every day can turn a beginner into an expert. A small act of kindness can brighten someone's entire day. Never underestimate the power of small action. The future we dream about is not good in a single moment. It is good day by day, step by step, and choice by choice. So today, I want to leave you with one simple message. You do not need to change the world overnight. You only need to take the next step. So small step today, start where you are. Because one small step today might become a big success tomorrow. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shara. Your message shows us that even small steps can lead to meaningful change. Next, please welcome Jennifer Ivanuema from SMA Santo Yosef Pangkal Pinang. Her speech is titled Little Things You Can Do to Connect to Nature. Jennifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gracel. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to talk about our connection with nature. Many people think connection with nature means going on a big trip, like maybe hiking in a mountain, camping in a forest, or traveling to beautiful Iceland, or going to somewhere expensive. But the truth is, we don't always need something big or far away or expensive. Sometimes the small moments can bring us closer to the nature. For the example, something as simple as planting seed. When we plant a seed, we are not just putting something into the soil. We are starting a small life. Watching it grow day by day remind us that nature moves slowly, but it never stops growing. Another moment is stopping to smell of flowers. It sounds like simple or weird action, but when we really take a moment to notice the smell, the color, and the shape, we begin to appreciate how detailed and beautiful nature actually is. We can also admire the sunrise. The sunrise is the one of the quietest and most peaceful moments of the day. The sky slowly changes color, the air feels fresh, and everything feels calm. I love sunrise. It reminds us that every day is a new start. Sometimes we don't need We don't even need to do anything special. We can just watch how the trees move in the wind. The leaves move gently, almost like they are dancing. It's simple scene, but it can make us feel relaxed and peaceful. If we have to change, can swimming in the ocean or in a lake. It's also a powerful way to feel connect to nature. When we are in the water, we can feel how vast and alive nature actually is. All these things are small. They don't cost money, they don't require a long trip, but they help us slow down and notice the world around us. Because sometimes the best way to reconnect with nature is not by doing something big, but by paying attention to the little things that already around us. So maybe starting tomorrow or today, we can try something simple like plant a seed, smell of flowers, watch the sunrise, sunset, and notice the trees moving in the wind, swim in the water, or just walk barefoot on earth. These little moments might seem small, but they can change the way we see the world. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, for reminding us that reconnecting with nature can start with simple actions. Now, please welcome Patrick from SMK Tunas Karya Pangkal Pinang. He will deliver a speech titled The Importance of Throwing Trash into a Bin. Patrick, the time is yours.
Maybe it's gonna be SMK Tunas Karya, but it's okay. Thank you for choosing me to. Uh, Thank you for choosing me. So I want to give you some speech about this post, the importance of this post trust into the bin. And do you know, guys? Do you know there is a trash bin? It can be polluted if you put everywhere, and it will be smell bad, especially like organic food. Uh, to put on trust, it will be smell so bad. And if you put the trust into the bin, it will be not polluted. It will be spotless everywhere. Even the city can be cleaner than before. If you put trust everywhere, especially on the river, on the sea, especially plastic trust, it will be polluted everywhere, and it will be kill the wildlife, especially the animal live there, like fish, for example. And fish, the innocent one, the animal, it will be it the trash, especially like plastic. It will be, and after we found the fish, we accidentally eat the microplastic, and it will be quite dangerous if a lot. So if you put the trash into the bin, it will be cleaner than before, and it makes the wildlife feel safe. especially the animals and the environment will be, especially the air, it will be cleaner. It will be healthier than if you put the trust everywhere. So there is a type of trust like organic for food, for non-organic like plastic, and there is another type like a paper, and even until the dangerous one. I think as I remember dangerous one. So it will be if you put the trust like there's another type like organic, non-organic. If you separate it, it will be not mixed, so it can be easily to recycle. So what have imagine if will be mixed? Yeah, it's actually hard to separate in recycle place. So that's enough for this speech about the importance of disperse trust into the bin. So thank you for listening my speech for today, and I will end the speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. That's such an important reminder. And now we arrive at our final speaker for this evening. Please welcome Manuela Michiko Marvin from SMA Santo Yosef Pangkal Pinang with the title of speech The Small Things That Connect Us All. Manuela, this moment is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Manuela. Today, I want to tell you about the small things that connect us all. When we talk about being a global citizen, it usually sounds like something very big and serious, like solving world peace or attending a massive summit. But if we strip all that away, being a citizen of the world is actually about something much simpler. It's about the little moments we all share, no matter where we live. Think about it for a second. Whether you are in a busy city like Jakarta, a quiet village in Europe, or a coastal town in South America, some things just feel the same. The relief of a cold drink on a humid afternoon, the awkward smile you give a stranger when you both accidentally try to walk through the same door at the same time, the way everyone looks up at the sky when there's practically a beautiful sunset. These moments aren't Indonesian or American or African. They are just human. Sometimes we get so caught up in the news and the difference in our language or cultures that we forget how much we have in common. We all laugh at a funny cat video. We all feel that Monday morning slump. We all cherish a good meal with friends. Being a global citizen doesn't mean you have to travel the whole world. It just means noticing these small shared threads. It's about realizing that the person on the other side of the screen or the other side of the ocean probably find joy in the same little things that you do. So my simple message today is don't worry too much about the big world out there. Start with the small one right in front of you. Be kind in the little moments. Smile at the person who looks different from you. Celebrate the small joys that connect us. Because when we realize that our little moments are the same, the world doesn't feel so big and scary anymore. It just feels like home. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuela, for closing our speech session with such touching reminder. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the feedback session. First, we would like to invite Coach Mike Nicholson to share his reflections on today's speeches. Coach Mike, the time is yours. Sorry, Coach, you're muted.
Okay, I'm unmuted, I hope. Yes, it's been a great privilege being able to listen to all of you. I've obviously heard you talk many times. And I think one of the things that was going through my mind as you were speaking was, I bet they have had a great experience today and have learned something new. So every time we speak is a new experience. And we're building on step by step our previous experiences. So hopefully everybody has learned something that's maybe a surprise to them. What it feels like being in a World Speech Day performance, slightly different than being in a normal Thursday evening class. But all of you did really, really well. And that's the main thing. Yeah, you have, it seemed, enjoyed it. And that is really important. Make sure you enjoy it. Life is too short not to enjoy what you're doing. Make sure you do the things that you enjoy doing. If you don't enjoy doing it, why do you do it? Don't try not to do it. So important, yeah, that we learn, that we keep moving on, that we are improving ourselves all of the time. We only live once. You've heard that saying, I'm sure. And it's very true. And take it from an old man like me. Life is too short. Take the opportunities as they come. If you leave it until you're my age, maybe it's too late. I come from a family of parachuters jumping out of planes. I've never done it. I wish I had made the effort earlier in my life to do it. In my youth, I was a fanatical scuba diver, and that was a hobby all the way through my life. But about 10 years before my dad passed away, he was 82, he jumped out of a plane. He used to be a parachuter in the Second World War, 1944-45, as a young guy. And in that plane, when he did his parachute jump, was my sister, his daughter, and her daughter. So there were 3 generations of my family jumping out of that plane. And I wish I could have been with them. However, I was too heavy. You have to be careful when you're tied to a professional parachutist that you don't drag him to his and your death. So when you get to a certain weight, you cannot jump. So I missed that opportunity. Had I done it earlier in my life, I could have done it, but I prefer to go scuba diving. So choices are all there around you. And the choice to learn English, practice English, develop your English is yours. But it will pay back dividends. You will get a lot of reward in your life because you speak English well. And also public speaking. I wish I had got involved in public speaking at your age. I didn't. I didn't really get involved until I was in my 50s. I got into public speaking in a way by accident. I didn't know I was in it. By reading the epistle and the gospel at Mass at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And I think they picked me because I had a loud voice and was willing to get up at early hours to do that. But that was a experience that I was scared to do. I was terrified reading through the Bible of those long, long words, those strange words. But it was something that was there. It was something that I did. And then later, when I went to university, I was teaching scuba diving. And part of that was giving lectures after pool time. So I was talking to people and explaining how to become a diver. So it was not about public speaking, but I was speaking in public. So I didn't know what I was doing, but it was all the way through my life, taking the opportunities as they came that improved my ability. And now I love public speaking. And I love doing what I'm doing with you guys, watching you develop. And it's been fascinating. As you may know, I'm running 7 clubs for Mayapada nurses all over Indonesia. And when they first came, they were shaking. They were not happy being there. But after 3 or 4 events and their performances, they got used to it. And now they love it. So life is what you make it. Don't be scared to get out of your comfort zone. And you've done that by participating in this World Speech Day today. And this is recorded, I think. I'm not sure. It's going live anyway. And hopefully you'll be able to watch your performance today in 6 months, in a year's time, and see how you have developed. Because I notice it in our Thursday night classes, how you progress during the year. And that's really what's important. Keep moving forward, keep improving, little by little. Don't expect to jump, 3 foot and become a professional public speaker in 3 weeks. Never happens. But slowly you can do it. So just keep going. So let me get off the stage before I get kicked off. So Gracielle, back to you. You're a fantastic MC. Has anybody ever told you that? What are you doing next year on March 15? Maybe you'd like to do the same again. Okay, back to you, Gracielle.
Okay,
And congratulations, all of you that participated tonight.
Okay. On behalf of the participant, I say thank you to Mr. Mike for the valuable insight and encouragement. Next, we would like to invite Ma'am Chacha to share her reflection. Ma'am Chacha, please share your thoughts with us.
Okay, thank you, Graciel. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I just immediately sneezing all the time, and my allergy. I think I flared. But guys, even though I get skipped 2 of you, but I got it. Okay, you have prepared yourself. You make some improvement from day 1 until today, and everyone follow the rules. Okay, but maybe Manuela and also Viola and also Luis, I will help you and then I will teach you how to change the virtual background. But this is only the technique. No worries. You have prepared yourself and then I think this is the way that you can improve your English smart and we can find the next event. Of course, in the end of the semester, you know how the surroundings, how the vibes. Okay, after you have your speech, what do you feel, everyone? I think you really proud with yourself. Thank you so much for your speech. Thank you so much for your improvement. Thank you so much for your preparations. Good luck, everyone. Thank you, Grace. I'll give back to you.
Yay! Thank you, Ma'am Chacha, for the thoughtful feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we didn't just listen to speeches. We listened to ideas, dreams, and voices brave enough to be heard. Because every great change in history always begins the same way. Someone decide to stand up and speak. We hope the words shared today will continue to inspire us to think, to care, and to use our voices to create positive change. This brings us to the end of World Speech Day 2026, proudly hosted by the students of G2 Agora. part of the Tunas Karya Foundation. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all speakers, teachers, coaches, and everyone who joined us today. My name is my name is Graciela Adin Gunawan, and it has been my pleasure to be your host for this evening. Before we officially conclude this event, let us close with a prayer. Let us pray together in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, thank you for guiding us throughout this event. We are grateful for the inspiring ideas and meaningful message shared today. May the words we speak tonight continue to inspire us to speak with courage, kindness, and purpose. Bless everyone who participated in this event and guide us as we continue to use our voices for good. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, everyone. My name is Gracia Alingunawan, and have a wonderful evening and goodbye.
Wow, great.
Thank you so much.
Thumbs up
Thank
for
you,
your
Graciel.
thank you,
Thank you,
Graciel.
everybody.
Great MC. You all guys, great speakers. Guy.
See,
See
see
you,
you in
Mr.
2 weeks'
Mike.
time. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, 2 weeks because next
Probably
week
next
we
week.
will have a holiday. It fight. Okay. So please check it out for our group. So see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye, Mr. Mike.
Bye
Bye, Mr.
everyone.
Bye,
Mike.
Madam
Bye,
Chairman.
Luis. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Graciel.
Bye, everyone. See you
Bye. Bye,
next week.
Viola. Bye, Dita. Bye, Patrick.